Welcome back to the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast presented by FanDuel. Folks, how you doing out there? Welcome to the show. We got another week of wrestling to talk about. Jimmy, how are we? What's going on?
I am absolutely awesome, my friend. Thank you for asking. Can't wait to dive into the world of wrestling today. A lot has happened over the last few days.
A lot's happened. We're gonna go over all of it, folks. Before we do, this feels like a no nonsense episode. We're getting right to the business. But before we do, please leave your likes, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Tell a friend about the show. It's everyone's homework this week. You got to tell one friend about the show. Oh, you like wrestling? You like guys that are almost 30 and not quite yet 30 that like wrestling? Tap in, you know? All right. Do all stuff. Patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling for a bonus extra hour of a podcast. We chat, take your questions and all this stuff. Okay. Where do we start? I guess, well, first of all, there's a little personal note. I do, because it's all wrestling, I do want to give a shout out to the family over at Focus Pro Wrestling. I know you were able to go for a little bit, and I was there catching the action. Great stuff as always. We got title defenses. We had Nunzio, or formerly known as Nunzio, there. The women's matches were killer. So just kind of a general shout out everyone over there. Killed it. Just a phenomenal show. Focus Pro
Jam-packed arena.
It was packed, dude. It was packed. It's really awesome to see. I know right now, and for understandable reason, you know, there's a lot of worry about like the indie scene, especially with like Deadlock and I think another indie like kind of disbanding or whatever. So there's a lot of oh man, the indies are whatever. I'll tell you what though, the Northeast indie scene at the very least, so I can speak to my personal whatever. Is killing it, doing really well. There might be some others I'm trying to tap into, but just want to give a general shout out to them. Okay, where do we start? I think we start at the biggest news here. We have a new WWE champion in Drew McIntyre beats Cody in the 3 Stages of Hell match. There's a lot to talk about. I think last week we were we're doing our job on these microphones here.
Yes.
As we do. And we're a little critical of the 3 Stages of Hell match decisions. A lot of people started to, I think it was split 50-50. A lot of people that agree with us and a lot of people being like, well, Austin Triple H started out as like a singles match. You kind of had your back and forth, like, well, you liked the singles and you didn't like the singles, and I was kind of like, yeah, I would like a little more of extreme stuff. But point being, and here's the thing, life is about, I don't know about the term backpedaling. I don't know. I don't want to speak for you either. But life is about you chit chat and you critique whatever. And then something happens. You learn new things, you have a new experience, then you can kind of talk about it from there. Point being is what I'm trying to get at is this match rocked, and I do even love the setup. I like the singles aspect, and I like the way they did it with Drew getting the the DQ and the heel win, and I cheated the heel, whatever. The one critique I did like seeing is people calling Drew an idiot because they were like, Drew, if you just did that to begin with, you didn't need to go through the other 2 stages. Right. But I thought that was a funny criticism. But where are you? Are you still like, did you like the matches? Kind of just focusing on not Drew as new champ yet, but just the 3 stages in general. Because I had fun.
I am prepared to eat some crow, eat my words. This match, we didn't do it last week, but I'm going to bring it back.
Yeah, I have my stuff written down, so yeah.
My match of the week, this 3 Stages of Hell match, I had a lot of fun. This was, 2 of the best that WWE has to offer. And this happens, pretty often sometimes where there might be some critiques that we have, and then we're leading up to it, but then we finally get the match and it delivers, and this match,
and that's what I prefer.
Yeah.
I want to. This is where I'm like critiquing stuff or being like, oh, I don't know. I then want to be proved wrong. And this happened. This match rocked. I think my favorite spot was the
banana spot.
What's the banana spot again?
Cody put a banana in Drew's mouth.
Oh yeah. Oh Jesus, I kind of forgot about that. I was watching it on a delay. Oh yeah. I guess more so, but maybe for some reason overshadowed for me was the the Cody's stiff ass dive when he
There
jumped off the top.
goes my hero.
I don't know how he does it, but he just doesn't move.
Yeah.
Not even like his leg doesn't move at all. He just jumps. It's just like a
He's just like a curveball. You know, a curveball doesn't move. And it goes really slow. Or maybe I think it's a knuckleball. I think a knuckleball kind of just, Tim Wakefield used to just kind of throw it like this, and he just kind of just doesn't spin or move at all. It's just, there goes my hero. So good, but like also so high up, very dangerous. And then that was one of my kind of critiques was the falls count, where I'm like, no, it's like a glorified, hard. Just call it a hardcore match, whatever. No, they went for it. They were all over the place. That spot ruled. It was very physical. Very enjoyable.
We had the steel cage aspect to end it. We got a little blood in the blonde hair. I think is always, we always like to see with the coaster. And then, not to fast forward through the whole match, was a fun match, but then we get where I think people are most critical about. So I don't think people are too critical about the winner or about the match in general. But I think the way Drew won, where we had in a zipped up hoodie. I think it's important to note we had a Jacob Fatu return, beat up Drew a little bit, and then aim his sights at Cody. And while he was beating down Cody, Drew escaped the cage, kind of fell out like a slug, and then won the title. So I don't know. I kind of want to talk about how do we feel about the Jacob involvement? Do we like that Drew won the title this way? Where are you? I know you're critical about one aspect about it.
Let me do this, and this no prop really.
Oh my god, it's a gun.
No, it's not a gun, not yet. So I'm gonna put my this right here, and for nice Spotify listeners that listen to audio, I just put on my SCW hat. I don't think we make these anymore.
I'll keep talking a little chat.
Checking the website.
There might be some left.
Let me preface what I'm about to say about this overall outcome, the booking decision of it, because this is my booking hat.
Oh, okay.
Booking wise, I like the move, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, the new WWE champion, I think it makes sense. And I think what I was speaking to last week about some Cody Rhodes fatigue as the top babyface in the company is somewhat true. The Berlin crowd kind of was booing Cody a little bit, of course, up until his entrance, which again, very fickle fans. But I think Drew winning here kind of helps a lot of people's eyes see like, oh, Cody, is here to play ball, and it kind of, really, I have this Jeff Hardy Rhodes WrestleMania magazine here. Speaking to that is now we're on the fast track to the road to WrestleMania now, and now the road is instead of one of those F1 tracks that kind of goes very, very predictable round and round, we're now on Rainbow Road with Drew McIntyre and like the very good, and then with Jacob Fatu back too, which like I feel like he's completely went under the radar. I kind of forgot about the boy Jacob Fatu, one of the most uprising superstars in the company today. So that booking decision with Drew winning, and I will say this though, hated the way he won it though in the steel cage match. We've seen this before, through the doors, very, in my opinion, kind of a lazy booking decision for Drew. And then of course Drew cheated in the first fall too. So to me, Drew is a big old cheater, undeserving WWE champion, and I'm also frustrated too with the fans of like, it just kind of bothers me that so many fans are kind of happy to see Drew win because he's a baddie, and Cody Rhodes is the ultimate good guy, and I do understand the surprisingness of it and what have you, and I was someone that was kind of toting for a while of like Drew McIntyre shouldn't win the WWE championship with this current iteration of his character. And I'm willing to also eat my words about that. We'll see how he does. Because honestly, transitional champion kind of is right on the face of Drew McIntyre, in my opinion. But we'll see.
I hope. I definitely. I hope not. I think I saw a comment about him being a transitional champion, and even if it's a short reign, let's say it's even like a month or two, I think there's an opportunity to still make it fun and compelling. That doesn't automatically make it a transitional champion, especially if it goes back to Cody, which I think is very likely that it goes back to Cody before Mania.
I would love to see the betting odds of like Drew McIntyre entering WrestleMania as the WWE champion. I think they're very slim.
Yeah, well, before we talk about that, I do. I guess my one pushback is, like, I agree with you. I am fully it's a steel cage match. I prefer to like lock that door, go over the top. But I think I don't think you could have had the Jacob. Like, I don't know where, like, how you would have had Jacob like interfere and do all that stuff, and then have Drew like do anything but go out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you could have him do that and then go over the top still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do think like that is the one instance where it works out very well. Where in the grand, in the grand scheme of things, I do prefer people going over, or even I hate more than the door. Hate a pin. A pin in a steel cage match?
Really?
Hate it.
Oh, I disagree. I like a pin in the steel cage match.
Over leaving out the door.
Absolutely,
oh, that's
John.
shocking.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Because for me, the steel cage match is supposed to kind of create the illusion that we're keeping all the friends out of the outcome, and we're settling a grudge match. So a pin is not a big deal, but escaping through the door just seems so cheap to me. It's even kind of a callback to Drew and Damien's match at Saturday's Main Event months ago.
Sure.
And how Jesse Ventura was so mad about that.
Jesse
Me and Jesse are going to start petitioning for a elimination of that rule, because I think it's such a BS way for a steel cage match to end, no matter what. And even too, I'm not sure if you noticed, when Jacob and Cody were kind of exchanging fists, I feel like Jacob at one point was kind of looking back like, "Damn, Drew, you're taking a long time to freaking get out of
on, flop
out."
I don't know. I just think I think the reason I put the door over a pin is because at least you're using the cage. At least there's still the aspect of the cage being into play. Or if you're just pinning them, then it's sure, the action got contained inside. And it's still it's still what a steel cage match is, where it's it's combining people and you still get a result inside. But I think I at least like the aspect that makes it different is that someone, I think also too, I think back to SmackDown versus Raw, when the guy has to you're crawling to
Yep.
hey, and you're crawling, whatever. But ultimately, at least we're on the same page about best way, and it should be, should be the only way. You gotta climb that sucker. You gotta climb and go out. Which I think we haven't seen. I'm curious when the last time we've seen someone climb and go out.
It's been a while.
I feel like it has.
But I really do support a submission or a pin inside the steel cage, over at least the door for sure.
Sure. So yeah, I think with Jacob, go ahead.
Also upset with some of the fickle fans I referenced to. Some people throwing allegations to my QB1 saying, "Oh, it's not confirmed that Jacob Fatu was attacked by Drew McIntyre weeks ago." Some people kind of theorizing that Cody could have been the one that take up Jacob Fatu because
very well could.
Well, here's the thing. My perspective was Jacob Fatu was there to avenge his attacker Drew McIntyre and cost him the WWE Championship in the cage, but kind of reminiscing to Cody's time in AEW, he's trying to run a company here, and he sees two brats kind of going at each other fighting, and he tried to get involved, and he got bit. He got bit by the Samoan werewolf, and Jacob Fatu and him, of course, then started tussling, and then Drew kind of came up on a bag. But
I think if this leads to Cody heel turn, though, I'm all for it, because I think what's interesting is we left. Before Jacob Fatu got injured, he was fully a face. Sure, he wasn't cutting baby face promos. He was definitely one of these faces that the crowd got behind, especially when he started facing Solo, who is the heel. He kind of ended up being the de facto face. Now, upon his return, attacking Drew, at first it's he's still a face and he's attacking Drew and he's not saving Cody necessarily, but whatever. But then he, granted it was because Cody, stuck his hand and the dog's growling and you stuck your hand, you get bit. But he was wailing on the Codester. He did not turn his attention back to Drew. So I am curious to see on SmackDown if we are going Jacob heel, or if they do, which I don't expect that. I would want them to do a cool swerve no, Cody attacked him and we get Cody heel. I don't think WWE's doing that. I think it's fully going to be Drew attacked him, or if they might not even remember to make a callback to that moment. You know what I mean? I would honestly be shocked if they do that.
I'm starting to think we might never get Cody as a heel. And then it goes back to how Cody was, kind of his mindset while he was in AEW, where that kind of became a thing of contention where he refused to turn heel. I think this was also kind of a move, the booking decision to put Drew in as the world champion to kind of aid Cody to even extend his babyface run. Because again, there has been some kind of Cody fatigue, and this championship run wasn't necessarily the greatest, but I still think he's, absolutely the best option to be WWE champion. But this kind of really puts over a guy, Drew McIntyre, who, I kind of have a kayfabe hate for, especially this current iteration of his character where he's just a whiny internet troll. But, he finally got the job done, and he was MVP of the pandemic, and he definitely deserved a world title in front of fans for an extended period of time. And I just don't think we're going to get a Cody heel turn, but I'm for sure very interested in the prospect of him working with Jacob Fatu, whether it's tweener versus tweener, because I think Cody now has to kind of, he's going to be very upset that he lost the WWE Championship in this capacity. And then the chorus that kind of, I don't mean to look forward too much, but, Cody versus Samoan, there might be another Samoan in the later horizons, maybe WrestleMania season, where he's been rumored to be going against later maybe Jacob's cousin Roman Reigns. So we might be getting a whole Cody versus the bloodline of 2.0 a little bit.
We'd like to take a break in the episode to tell you about our sponsor today, FanDuel. The wild card round is here, and FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the wild card round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boots waiting for you in the app. Pick the matchups you believe in. Jimmy, what do you believe in? What do you got?
The matchup I'm most looking forward to has to be the Chicago Bears and the Los Angeles Rams. Can Caleb Williams do it? I think so, but we'll find out.
Take your shot on an upset or build a parlay that fits the moment. Then apply your profit boost and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs get rolling. So visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Thank you to FanDuel for sponsoring today's episode. Now back to the show. Well, now to kind of look to Mania in a couple of different lenses is one, now that Cody lost, I started seeing his name jump up there in terms of winning the Rumble. Not that I don't think I want Cody to win the Rumble, especially not that it's back to back, but he just won it 2 years ago, wherever it was.
He's back to back 2 years ago. Yeah, this would be his third win.
Third back to back 2 years ago, and then give it to Jay, and then Cody again.
Yeah,
but now it's like, so it goes to the question you kind of were talking about earlier: is does Drew hold the title to Mania? Is Cody going to get back till Mania? Does Roman get it back before Mania? What's this lead to for if they're going to do Cody Roman 3? Does Cody Roman 3 need a title? Who's going to win the Royal Rumble? I know there's 6 different questions there. But I guess first base is, do you think Drew holds it to Mania?
Ooh, that's a very tough one. I'd be very confident to say no, but I'm also very open to see where his character goes from here. Now that he's accomplished his ultimate goal, he's kind of proved all the naysayers wrong. But to me, there's two big obstacles in Drew McIntyre's way before he gets to WrestleMania. Obviously, is the Royal Rumble match, where we don't know what we're getting yet, but to me, it definitely seems we might get another Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry, that'd be wrong because it's already been announced. That hashtag I'm a wrestling fan. Drew McIntyre will be facing the winner of a Fatal 4 match at Saturday night's main event, and the qualifying matches are actually up on this upcoming SmackDown. So I think Drew will probably retain at the Royal Rumble against whoever wins that
I think so.
Fatal 4 match at Saturday's main event.
Who does he? Oh, hey, take it easy. Let's go a little slow. Who's he face? in this tournament? We got Sammy, Giulia, Trick, Matt Cardona, Randy Orton, The Miz. What's the other match? I don't know. I forget what the other match is, but
some good matches. I think Priest is in there too. I'm not sure if you named him.
Damien. Yeah, it's Damien and Solo. That's what it is.
Yep. I tweeted you because I'm like, maybe the predictions title could be available and on the line for this upcoming SmackDown, because like a lot of important contender matches. I think that could be fun. But who faces Drew? Good question. Maybe Randy Orton. I don't
think it's bad, especially since we got Randy especially on SmackDown, Randy eyeing Cody's title, and he even kind of gave a little pat,
But they were giving a lot of those guys in that potential match some looks. Matt Cardona was also eyeballing the title. I think someone else too.
Which the funny thing about that I love is Cardona, he was like, hey, I want that title. And Cody's like, after I beat Drew, 100%, you get it. And then Cody lose. So, like, to me, 1,000,000% that was only said because Cody was not, obviously, he was losing the match later in the night. So, Cardona's, I'll say this right now, and I don't know where you are, and I love Cardona. I think he's great. He's not sniffing that world title.
No.
He's not sniffing that world. What are we talking about?
No, but you give him that kind of, optimism, that on-screen interaction with Cody, and of course he's going to be in the qualifying matches. Give him a chance. I think Damian also confronted Drew and Cody on the same SmackDown, and then Sammy had a very interesting pre-match of the 3 Stages of Hell match promo where the interview was kind of like, who do you think is going to win, Drew or Cody? And Sammy was just kind of like, a long pause. He goes, I kind of think Drew's going to win. But I want Cody to win. Something along the lines. But Sammy,
sounds like us on here.
Sammy, exactly. And Sammy is very conflicted too. But he was like, I kind of want to beat Drew because I've never beaten Drew. So maybe not Randy Orton at Royal Rumble. It could be also Sami Zayn at the Royal Rumble. But that's the thing that's so awesome right now is like there's a lot of unpredictability. Yeah. We're on Rainbow Road right now to the road to WrestleMania, and like regardless though, I think Drew wins at Royal Rumble and retains, but he might lose at the Chamber for sure.
I would want. I hope, cause like the Royal Rumble almost has a tradition now of having like a random, like Kevin Owens was in a world title match at Royal Rumble however many years ago. Kind of a random new sort of guy in the spot to face the WWE champion. I think I'd hope for Ilya because I don't think he wins it.
Best match scenario.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fresh. And I think Sammy, like, I wouldn't want to see, maybe this is what could happen to me. Sammy gets to the dance, loses, and wins the Elimination Chamber to qualify for Mania.
Ooh, the Rumble's in Saudi Arabia too, because that'd be a good, nice home field advantage but a very advantage for Sami Zayn.
Yeah, because like right now, I think at this point, it's Sammy, Roman, and we'll talk about it a little later, especially Breaker, which I think Breaker might be they might have just given us the answer.
That's my push,
and then
there.
Also a Cody.
Yeah,
which I think it's what makes the Rumble so much fun is how unpredictable it is. Which I'm so excited. We definitely got to do because you were saying there's a way to. Not to go every which way right now, but you were saying we draw names out of a hat or some shit.
Yes.
I think there's a way. We're definitely going to do some sort of new creative way to defend the Predictions Championship at the Royal Rumble with Royal Rumble rules. And I think at that point, we got to turn it into some sort of drinking game or something. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be an
30 entrants, 30 beers. Let's go.
So looking to... so especially with Cody losing, now there's so much to look to like you said, we are on the Rainbow Road to the Mania. We got the Rumble. Okay. So who? Let me think. Let me just make sure. I know there's so much to cover. I'm trying to make sure we got so much to go to. I'm trying to make sure we covered everything. I don't know, unless you had anything else. I forget. I'm sure we had other stuff that we're gonna.
I just, I'm mad at some of the fickle fans of QB1, and I guess like I'm kind of
your third time.
I know
these fickle fans,
I'm coming out of from a place of like, like what I like, I guess. But the thing is, like, I just don't get why people are kind of turning on Cody a little bit. Internet fans and kind of the in person fans. You kind of hear some. I think Punk actually mentioned Cody's name last night on Raw. They were in Dusseldorf, and they started booing when Cody name dropped. When Punk name dropped Cody. So this guy's doing freaking Cody cutters off the cage. He is putting his life on the line, giving us compelling promos, and I don't know. It's so hard to be the number one babyface in the company, and everyone just wants to cheer the bad guy just because everyone is so negative all the time. It's like I just wish I was back in the 80s where the squeaky clean babyface people loved. But maybe that's just me and my soapbox.
I guess my only, and I'm not even sure if this is true or not, but they have been overseas the past couple weeks, so like. I think, granted, it's not like they were in, Glasgow or whatever, but I think the overseas crowd will root for the person not from America.
Yeah.
So they're gonna that's why I think Drew got the pop, on SmackDown, and then when they showed Gunther backstage at the beginning of Raw. Place pop for Gunther, they're in Berlin.
That's an excellent point.
Yeah, so like I think I still think if we watch like a SmackDown or Raw from 3 or 4 weeks ago when they're still in the United States, like I think we still get that overwhelming Cody pop. I do just think it was the overseas crowd, in which it's either because the overseas crowd is because they're smarter fans, or is it because they're rooting against the Americans, which is like, I think it's, maybe a mix
both.
of both.
Yeah.
So I'm not, I see what you're saying with Cody, especially online. More so I'm seeing like the Cody, like, this run's not been great, but
And the people dreading about the prospect of him winning the Rumble, which like I kind of understand considering
I don't want
it'd be his third time. So
as much as I'm a Cody guy and I'm a Cody defender, and I'm definitely not, I don't have the Cody fatigue personally. I don't want, he should not win that Royal Rumble. That'd be crazy.
Absolutely. But him being in it, elevates it big time. So
well, we can go to I gotta tweak my notes here a little bit, because if we're speaking about the Royal Rumble, we can go right to what happened last night. We got the match itself was so. We got the vision of Bronson Reed and Austin Theory versus Penta and Dragon Lee. I love that, the luchadors are in this, like, randomly in this, like, main event scene with the Vision, whatever. I love it. I love that it's the Vision versus luchadors. Love that Dragon Lee is still on TV post AJ Styles. Austin Theory is for sure an afterthought at this point. I don't know how you feel about that, but like this Austin Theory shit is not on a roll for me.
He's like the third or fourth most interesting guy in the group, and it's he's on TV. He has an impressive look, but yeah, he hasn't really. But it's still early,
But
I wouldn't mind a tag team title run from him and
sure,
Bronson and Theory sounds like a law firm, so I kind of support them for the tag team titles for sure.
We got another one of those like iconic spears to Dragon Lee from Bron Breakker coming in, jumped it from the fucking stage all the way to the ring, and then he's just going off, coming off the loss of CM Punk, which I love that, like, fired him up and he's pissed off, whatever. Adam Pearce gets in there. Adam Pearce is putting his hands on Breakker. Breakker puts his hands on Pearce. Later on in the night, we got Paul Heyman being like, hey, like, da-da-da-da, and Pearce like, oh, this is a mistake, and Pearce like, I'm not talking about Breakker, you put your hands on Breakker first, and like, just Pearce getting scared, him suspending Breakker indefinitely. I'm kind of skipping over a bunch of stuff, but a lot of people are seeing this and being like, oh, so here's what's happening. Breakker suspended indefinitely. The Royal Rumble's in like 2.5 weeks, whatever it is. He comes back after being absent. Breakker's winning that Rumble. That's seemingly what what the move is. But I love, especially after the loss of the world title match last week, and the how kind of I'd say disappointed a lot of people were about the outcome. Now hindsight 2020, it is kind of an obvious decision of like, yeah, sure, CM Punk's gonna, and I can only say that now because we're removed from it. But yeah, CM Punk wasn't gonna lose that match. But this presentation of Breakker, dude, is so sick. Is Breakker winning this Rumble at this point?
I think it's you didn't crown his ass last week. You gotta crown his ass at the Royal Rumble. It's in the name, Royal Rumble. Crown Bron Breakker. He's the next up. He's in this heel faction division, but the WWE Universe loves this guy. He is absolutely box office every time he hits Monday Night Raw. I was doing a live Monday Night Raw stream yesterday. I was mid puff of a joint, my friend, and then out of nowhere he just hits that spear on Dragon Lee, and I started choking. I was like, oh, I couldn't believe it. It was a very funny reaction. But this guy is absolutely has to be the front runner to win the Rumble. And then even so, like, who if he wins the Rumble, who does he face? I think you have a compelling thing, too, with the suspension of Bron Breakker, where, hey, the Royal Rumble gets to decide which world champion he faces at WrestleMania. So you have a classic kind of a Batista contract moment where Bron Breakker could, kind of tease like, hey, I'm suspended from Raw. Adam Pearce, you've been, getting in my face, spitting, very angry, trying to discipline me. I'm gonna go take my world championship ass to SmackDown. Now I don't know how Paul Heyman will feel about that, whatever, and maybe I'm speculating. But I was very impressed yesterday with Adam Pearce, man. He's so good. He is in the conversation for GOAT GM. He's been doing it for like 6 years now. Crazy. Which is like kind of like, wow, time is flying by. But the emotion, and there was a time when I guess like early on in Adam Pearce's tenure as a on-screen authority figure, where it was almost Roman Reigns versus Adam Pearce. Yeah. I want to see Adam Pearce versus Bron Breakker now in some capacity.
There's a clip going around of him selling, I think one of the Usos hit him with a super kick, and he sells it like he just fucking does. He sells it like death. It's so good. His head hits the fucking mat. There's another thing I was gonna say about Pearce. Oh, I love this is a comparison that this isn't original by me, but people have been like, it's so funny that Pearce, every morning on Monday he gets on, he's on his little walk in his nice gated community, and he gets on his little iPhone. He's like, hey everyone, We got a special night tonight. We got this. Everyone, love yourself and love everyone. And the world is full of peace. And, we should treat humans, better. And, gets on this real just like whatever stuff. And then on Raw, he's like, you're getting suspended. What the hell? You know what I mean? Like,
what do you think you're doing?
The second he gets to work, he's just the most stressed out guy. But on his walks, he's like this nice, peaceful guy. I love the contrast. I think it's so funny.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I think if he chooses SmackDown, because I don't think we're getting. I don't know
because the suspension to me has to mean something. Whether it means maybe Adam Pearce might be coming to his end as maybe Raw general manager, or Braun Breaker is kind of then.
Wait, why do you say that?
Well, because Paul Heyman said to Adam Pearce, where he was like, "You were in the wrong," because he did. Adam Pearce did put his hands on him first, so there might be some discipline coming down to Adam Pearce. Whether that means maybe Adam Pearce gets suspended, or maybe because again, like I said, 6 years now he's been the on-screen authority figure. Maybe it's time to shake things up a little bit.
No, keep Pearce.
I just call him one of the goats, but 6 years is a long time.
How long was Teddy doing it?
Way too long.
No, not long enough. What are we talking about? Yeah, I think because like if he wins the Rumble, you do kind of have an automatic baby face on your hand. So we'll be curious to see if they end up leaning on that. So if you do, then he can go and face Drew, and Drew can hold it till Mania if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Or if you want to keep doing the dominant heel thing, then I think Drew, you take the title off Drew, or without getting away from that thinking, you just keep it on Punk, and you get the rematch against Punk at Mania, and you beat old man Phil. I don't know. A lot of possibilities.
And I think a Seth Rollins appearance in some capacity could also be featured in that match. Or
I don't know anything about the injury. Yeah. I don't know if he's like good or not. But it would be cool.
You'd like to tie that together.
Yeah, it would be very cool if we can get some sort of Seth return. I mean, like people are, and again, this is all injury dependent, but like Seth Rollins in the Rumble, like that would rock. Obviously, people are hoping for a lot. Bianca in the Women's Rumble coming off an injury. But okay, let's go to. Kind of speaking of what might happen at Mania, don't know. We got Gunther, Big Gunther, defeating AJ Styles in the main event of Raw last night. Fun match. I really liked it. AJ's gear was killer in the baby blue with the black graphics.
I thought it was very North Carolina Tar Heel. Kind of like Michael, and then like even AJ had himself on his gear, kind of in the phenomenal forearm kind of stance, kind of reminiscing of the Michael Jordan kind of. I think that was very much UNC gear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Maybe I'm speculating, but
for Berlin.
I know. Someone in the chat goes, "Yeah, classic Berlin, Michael Jordan."
Interesting.
Yeah.
This match, I haven't really been online since watching Raw. I'll tell you what, Raw being on screwed up my whole day, dude. Raw ended, it was like 4:30, and I was like, what the, like I had like other work to do, but I was like, what the, like it ruined my day.
I tell you what, in 5 years when Saudi Arabia buys WWE, I can't wait to watch Raw at 3:00 every day.
Right. So we had the ending of the match that everyone's talking about. Point being, I don't know how people feel about it, but I love it. Gunther getting choked out there by AJ, taps out, kind of taps out so the referee doesn't see on AJ's side.
On his big ass.
Referee, AJ let's go, gets up. He's like, hell yeah, you tap. Like, I'm the winner. Da-da. Ref didn't see it. Gunther gets up, takes out AJ. Boom. Match over. Gunther gets the dub over AJ Styles. There's a lot here. It's like in terms of, one, I love Gunther taking the tap out back, right? Ever since he lost to Cena, people are still chanting, "You tapped out." No, well, I'm saying still. They've been chanting since. Because by the point I'm getting at is people, once he lost to Cena, I think everyone thought like, oh, this is gonna be the end of the "we tapped out" chants. People have been beat Cena.
Yeah.
Ever since he beat Cena. The Cena match is what I mean. Ever since the Cena match, people have still been chanting the you tapped out, whatever, which I think people were speculating him beating Cena would be the end of it. Not the case. So him taking the tap out and being like, oh, I tapped out. I sure as hell did. Now I'm gonna tap out to win this match. He tapped out, so he won. You tapped out. Damn right I did. I got one over on AJ. I think it was a I've never seen anything. I'm sure it's happened before. Who knows? It's, wrestling has a long history, but I've never seen something like that before. I thought it was really clever.
I loved this match, and I even loved that finish. And you hit the nail on the head, man. Gunther psyoped the WWE Universe. Now when they chant, "You tapped out," like you just said, Gunther goes, "Ha ha ha, I'm a conniving bitch. Yes, I did to cheat." And I think it's actually a thing that's kind of prevalent in mixed martial arts, where it's like a very cheating kind of like scumbag thing to do, to be like, when the ref's not seeing you, kind of tap on this,
that's
let
funny.
go of the submission, and then like gain position that way. I'm sure it has been done in pro wrestling at some point, but like I thought it was a super creative finish. I love the storytelling in this match, the ring psychology, AJ working on Gunther's calf to because again the pre-match promo with AJ Styles, the amount of fire this guy had, and like they zoomed in on AJ's face, you see like the yellow teeth, and he's just spitting, and very much so just goes, I'm gonna make Gunther tap out like a bitch. And I felt that in my soul, and I'm like, avenge John Cena and get it done. To me, I'm like, nah, Gunther, this is a clear Gunther win, but I did not think this would be in the manner which it did, and it really kind of made me hate Gunther even more. And I thought it was an excellent match to end Monday Night Raw, and really, I can't wait to see more. I don't think these two are done by a country mile.
Yeah, I think the way this match ended screams to me AJ wanting to get his win back, and I don't know what happens from here. Like, I don't know how quickly you do the rematch. I don't know the results of that rematch. Like, I still think Gunther needs to be a dominant guy that shouldn't be losing right now. However, it is against AJ Styles. You can still do maybe like AJ sneaks one out, maybe some sort of, I don't know if I love a roll up, but something like that. And then you eventually get to that third match. To then, I would like it to be the retirement match, and you can extend this. You can have wait a month for the rematch, and then have AJ do other stuff. Like, you can really extend this and make it a long-term thing happening, while other stuff happens. But it also kind of goes to the point of, we don't know when AJ's contract is up. I'm hearing speculation of February.
Oh.
Which I don't. Again, that is a, take that with a biggest grain of salt in the world. I think I saw like one tweet or whatever, but my hope is Mania. Like, my hope is that he has a contract till Mania. We can get the retirement match at Mania. But if we have less time than we think, then it's kind of, I don't know. Point being is, we might be getting this Gunther conclusion sooner than we think.
Maybe a rematch at Saturday Night's Main Event, and we get maybe an AJ Styles last WWE match in Saturday Night's Main Event. But yeah, I mean, like, we brought it up last week where we were like, yeah, AJ Styles said 2026, but you didn't say when in 2026, right. And man, I'm worried, but I'm desperate to see another Gunther AJ Styles match for sure.
Yeah, this match was a ton of fun. All right, we can go on to we got new number one contenders for the women's tag titles. We got Liv and Roxanne Perez. Sorry, writing down the thing. Okay. Liv and Roxanne Perez defeating the Kabuki Warriors and Bayley and Lyra to become your number one contenders. They will face Rhea and Io at Saturday night's main event. I believe that's a week before the Rumble. Cool. I mean, like, ultimately, I don't think there was a wrong answer here. I'm glad Kabuki Warriors didn't win. We kind of seen Kabuki Warriors and Rhea and Io in a bunch of different ways a lot. Bayley and Lyra would have also been cool. I don't really know. It's so funny seeing like the direction or lack thereof with Bayley, where it's like, she's the crazy one. She's like, the vignettes with like the split personalities. She's like, out the window, and she sometimes brings it out a little bit where she'll like snap on Lyra a little bit. But I don't know, their one would be cool. But ultimately, Liv and Roxanne, especially Liv upon her return, has been on a real hot streak. And this match is gonna be so fun. I love the starting out the show with the women's tag division. You had Rhea and Io hyping up the crowd. I loved it's Rhea giving the mic to Io, and Io being like, I got this. And then just yelling in Japanese at everyone and being like, this. I love this team. I don't know. Well, no, I do know. I don't think Rhea and Io lose those titles at Saturday Night's Main Event, regardless of, maybe this is people's criticism, how good Liv and Roxanne are, and how Liv's like, we need more titles in Judgment Day and da-da-da. But I don't know, where you at on Liv Roxanne, number one contenders?
This match is a lot of fun. I love this kind of new kind of rule in WWE regarding these kind of multi-person tag matches where each member I'm sorry. Each team has one member in the ring at all times.
As opposed to that's my biggest nitpick in wrestling for the longest time. I hated that.
Yeah.
Because then you have one whole team out, and the only way they can get tagged in is by tagging a random person. I hated it.
Made very little sense, and the fact that this match allowed that rule to take place added the speed and the unpredictability, and made it for a very good match. I like the winners too. Liv and Roxanne to me kind of seems a bit thrown together, and I can see some kind of criticisms of we're getting Liv and Rhea again, but those are two massive stars who I love to see them mingling in some aspects. My thing with Rhea and Io and this nickname of
Rio.
How do you say it?
Rio.
So there's a wrestler in AEW, the first ever AEW Women's Champion named Riho. But then there's another wrestler that has a similar name to Riho. I don't think it's an AEW, but she's pretty well known. But I think it's Rhino. That's not Rhino.
The guy that did the gore.
No, that's Rhino. But there's another female wrestler with a similar name to Rio that's pronounced the same as Rhea and Io. And then there's Rio from Grande Americano, right?
Yeah.
So there's a big right now contention that I think all these forces in wrestling need to come together and decide.
They don't have to face each other is what they need to do.
Oh, so yeah, that'd be an incredible match to witness. Ryo's new T-shirt is one of the best T-shirts I've seen in a long time. It's like Rhea and Io on the shirt. I think Io's sitting on Rhea's leg, and it's like it's a very good T-shirt.
They're fully leaning into are they a couple? Are they just best friends? They're little handsy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's so good.
The lesbian pollen is fluent in this tag team.
Get away from that lesbian pollen. Stop that.
It's just love.
It's just love. This is 2026. We're not sprinkling nothing.
And you watched the show last night, and I think during the promo, the crowd was chanting, and it seems to be a very German chant, but maybe you heard this, and I was kind of asking my chat, and they weren't sure
what any of the chants were.
So they were. I think it was, "Are you wrestling? Are you wrestling? Are you wrestling?"
During this match?
During promo, during the leading promo, and they were chanting that a few times throughout the show.
Idea.
I think it was "Are you wrestling?" kind of sarcastic of during the talking segments of the show. And then lulls in the match. I don't know, but I was very curious of in the comments, if you're listening, please let me know if you know what they were chanting. But I think it was "Are you wrestling?" which I thought was pretty interesting. But overall, I really enjoyed this three-way match, and I'm looking forward to Saturday's main event. And I think it's a easy retain.
I think so.
But it's very interesting to me though, seeing Liv kind of return and take the back seat and let Raquel go for the world title. And now Liv, who is just all of a sudden now okay with Roxanne and kind of their friends, but
I guess that's that would be my one critique is that when Liv returned, even before she returned, the whole story was Roxanne's been getting close to Dom, and Judgment Day's different now, and they kind of winked at it for the first 1 or 2 weeks, and then now Liv and Roxanne are just besties.
Dom's injured though.
Dom is injured.
And JD's injured, so the Judgment Day is kind of in shambles in some ways.
Yeah,
but
it seems like they are maybe taking a pause on it, and who knows? I'm still definitely in the camp of maybe it could be Liv is biding her time and is okay, I'm gonna play friendly with Roxanne before ultimately turning on her and I remember what you did, or maybe she takes Raquel from Roxanne. Who knows? Or like you said, it could be a whole thing of Raquel, I let you get the world. I don't know. There'll be some sort of manipulation thing. I don't know. I am that, but again, I agree. That's my one critique of she's all of a sudden cool with Roxanne. They don't feel like a. I don't know. They don't feel like they're on the same page, or or at least they feel like they shouldn't be on the same page.
Dusseldorf loves Bailey.
Yeah.
that's my big takeaway.
I thought it was a good. People have been critical about some of these crowds. I thought the crowd last night was hot. I thought it was hot. All right, we got Finn Balor renewed for a new singles push in 2026. Finn Balor is getting a title match next week against CM Punk in Belfast. I like this. I like even the setup about Liv backstage. Kind of said it a little earlier of hey, me, Raquel, Roxanne, we're all pulling our weight. You're here playing video games. What the fuck are you doing?
I marked out for that segment because I thought it was so well shot and it's very relatable. Very relatable. If Liv Morgan tells you to be on your shit, you're gonna start being on your shit. And then two, Finn was playing the game and he was himself and he was fighting Cody.
Yes.
And he's playing 2K as you do, and then that conversation starts, and Liv's getting down his ass. And in the background, you kind of see, it's kind of a metaphor almost for Finn's career, where he's kind of been training too much, as he says. He likes to smoke weed when he trains, so maybe he's getting kind of complacent, lazy, playing video games. That's a very duo thing for video games and weed. And he's playing the game. He's having his career kind of go by, and Liv kind of gets on his case. And in the background, you see when Liv's kind of scolding him just kind of lose that match 1, 2, 3. And I thought it was very kind of kind of a storytelling moment. I don't know if they did it on purpose.
No, I'm glad you. I would say
marked
definitely.
out for it.
I would say definitely not on purpose, but like I'm glad you saw that because I picked up on that too. I thought it was very it was like a cool little like you said metaphor thing where the second he stopped playing and Liv started getting on his ass, Cody started beating him up. He started losing. Obviously because you're not playing the game, but
right.
for the metaphor of it, I think was beautiful.
Makes me very excited for next week's match too, man.
Yeah. So Finn comes out, he shoots his shot. I thought the promo was great. Finn being like, I'm still the line starts at me, like I'm still Finn Balor, and Punk, putting him over, being like, I'm a fan of Finn Balor, but also being like, you haven't been the guy. What the fuck? It's similar to what Liv's saying. Like, what the fuck have you been doing?
Well, I love they rewarded us for paying attention and watching weeks ago. I guess Punk, when he won the world title, listed a bunch of names. Finn was one of those names, but Punk was like, yeah, I definitely did list you because you're so talented. But that was 2 months ago,
yeah,
pal.
Where you been?
You've been chiefing out. And I think it's funny, too, where, Finn recently came out and he went, not like a semi-viral, but it's been talked about that, he likes to incorporate marijuana.
At the very end of the Cody podcast, he's like, I get high when I work out.
And hey, and then who doesn't like to get high? Mr. Drug-Free CM Punk. So that, little kind of funny where he comes out and says that, and the first opponent is like Mr. Drug-Free. But next week in Ireland, Finn's hometown world title match. Yep. I can't wait. I mean, I think, I don't think Finn has a real puncher's chance.
Finn loses for sure.
But it's going to be a hell of a match, a hell of an environment. Very interesting that Punk is probably going to be like persona non grata, like enemy number one. Like it's going to be a very interesting shift in a hometown environment. I think it's going to make for a very memorable match for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad we're getting Finn finally, where he should be in this world title picture. Like I've been seeing people dogging on Finn Balor. Like when we put out the best wrestler starts with F, and I ended up choosing Finn Balor over everyone. There's comments being like, Finn's a terrible wrestler. It's like you see what WWE's done to it. WWE has tricked everyone into thinking he's a bad wrestler. You know what I mean? Because I don't blame him because he hasn't been showcased and he's been doing fuck all for a while, however long. Yeah, sure, he's in the tag division. Him and JD have been pretty fun, but whatever.
Not his full potential,
right? Yeah. So yeah, this is gonna rock. I think there was one other, I forget what it was. There was one other thing. I don't know. Yeah, I love that Punk kind of was like, all right, step up, and he stepped up. Finn versus Punk next week. I agree with you. I don't think Finn wins, but be a fun match. I'm excited. All right, we'll go to Javon Evans making his in-ring debut against Bravo. This match fucking rock, dude. This match was so fun. Javon killed it. There's a conversation that gets brought up a lot about, these assisted moves or assisted finishers. You look at like the Soul Snatcher, right? I believe this is the young OG cutter where he gets on the top rope and he goes so fucking high. And also I think it's a lot of credit to, a Tyler Bate.
Who?
Yeah. I'm not. I hate this. This Bravo shit is the dumbest fucking shit.
Well,
in
that's
the world.
The thing. I was kind of shitting on this match, at the beginning of that because I'm like, we're really putting Javon Evans in front of a international crowd, his first time against this opponent, but the match was really good.
Yeah. Again, it goes to Tyler Bate took that move so well. He's so good. Granted, this is the only way he can get on TV. Fine. But yeah, even commentary, Cole and Barrett were like doing a wink of like, oh, that looks like a big strong boy, or he did like the helicopter spin thing.
He
and
did do that, yes.
And he was like, oh, like that looks awfully familiar from last time we. Oh, never mind. I even like the current version of El Grande Americano.
Yes.
Save Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. I don't know. They don't have to be Rio and Bravo. It's the Dumb as
Just
fucking
very,
shit.
I think what really kills me is the name. Like, it's this very unimaginative name. I just give them something else. I don't know. I have them be, El Grande's lackey. Sure, they're on TV, but like, I don't know. The presentation of these guys just
that's what it is. They
turn me
they
off.
seem like fucking losers.
Yeah.
And at least, like, granted, when that bell rang and Bravo was in there, he was wrestling. Like, the wrestling was fantastic. But you're not gonna do anything for the guy if you're still Bravo after the. I don't know.
I guess they just kind of goes to like who they're trying to put over in that spot, Javon Evans.
Sure.
But it's killing me, and I don't mean to make enemies in this space, but freaking Dave Meltzer putting out there of a report saying, oh, WWE kind of was saying, they think Javon Evans is a star, but they don't think he's a franchise player. Who the hell are you talking to that you've known? And like, why would they be having that conversation out loud for people to be hearing it anyway? Clearly, the WWE is recognizing this guy's a star. He's been on TV on every show, NXT, Raw, SmackDown. I think he was even doing some matches in AAA. They understand what they have in Javon Evans and how young he is and how the potential is there. I just don't believe for a single second that there's someone in the behind the scenes of WWE higher ups that are being like, yeah, he's a star, but he's not a franchise player. What the hell does that even mean? So I've seen a lot of discourse. The wrestling publications kind of put out that story and they give credit to Juan, the Wrestling Observer. I think that's such a load of crap. But what do you think about that discussion?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really pay attention to too much like of the
very too internet for you.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's a little too internet for me, but as much as I do sometimes, I did see that report, and like I don't put too much weight into I don't spend too much time on that sort of stuff, but and to take the statement in general, like it does seem like where that come from. We're like, huh, like. Why? Like, what do you mean? He's 21. He's getting put on. He's already. I think even just the fact that he jumped the line from NXT and he already got called up, which like there's a discussion there if he got called up too early or not. Who's to say? But it happened. He debuted before an Obafemi even. You know what I mean? So it's like.
But those video packages have been smacking for Obafemi. I can't wait for the guy. You talk about someone you want to win the Rumble. Obafemi would be never going to happen, at least this year, because that'd be kind of way too soon, way too shocking. But hey, fingers crossed. You never know.
All right, we'll move on. It's kind of all I have to say about this. A killer match. Javon looked fucking great in his debut. Yeah, this was awesome. Or I guess, is his debut? This is his debut singles match. I don't remember. All right, we got to kind of circle back. We don't spend too much time on this. We kind of talk about it a little bit with Judgment Day stuff. But Raquel Rodriguez attacks a still injured Stephanie Vaquer. I like what we're doing here. Raquel looks great. She looks like a monster. I think, if you were to tell me maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, like who's going to win this feud, who's going to come out on top, be like, oh, well, Stephanie Vaquer, 100% is going to win this. It's a great feud. It's a great first defense. Now, and this is all credit to Raquel and Stephanie for sure, Raquel is being built up as a really formidable opponent to Stephanie Vaquer. I think there's a world Raquel takes this title off of Stephanie Vaquer.
I think there's a world too, John. It's very exciting. Although, Stephanie's been a great world champion. She's great. But there's definitely something, up with her ankle. I think she posted on Instagram a picture of it.
Oh, yeah, she looked crazy.
Severely bruised.
Yeah, it looked crazy.
And yet we see him on Raw, Raquel attacking that same leg. And the title isn't vacated yet. Stephanie's eventually going to, I'm assuming, defend it soon. I mean, there used to be an old adage of like 30 days it goes by, you got to defend it. That's long gone. But I would imagine that they're going to be building to a match of Stephanie Vaquer versus Raquel Rodriguez. And let me tell you, man, I think Raquel... This is her moment to win.
I think she should win.
She's been dominating. Man.
Stephanie had a fun run. It's been very good, and this isn't the only title she's ever gonna get. Like I think we can for sure have these like shorter reigns that are still memorable, and I think you might have to capitalize on Raquel because she's and there's so much to do there with then a Liv Morgan, maybe Liv's jealous or Roxanne and Judgment Day, like. I think it'd be cool.
Heck of a promo from her too. I feel like Michael Cole was genuinely scared at one point where Raquel kind of got in his face, and her calling herself Big Mommy Cool. I think is great. Kind of an ode to that. The whole Kevin Nash giving her advice to work bigger thing. Kind of has snowballed into her kind of developing that nickname and persona. And I think she is very much Kevin Nash-esque. Not a bad thing too to kind of emulate the boss's best friend. So maybe that's why this push is happening. I don't know, but Raquel to me is someone that I've to start the year I was like, be on the lookout for her, and it's looking like maybe a world title could be in her future, and I'm excited, man.
I hope so. Yeah. All right, then we had Williams and Jordynne Grace. their in-ring debuts over on SmackDown. Both look killer. Jordynne Grace defeating Alba Fire in pretty dominant fashion. Trick Williams facing
Ray Phoenix.
Oh yeah, it is against Ray Phoenix. Shouldn't have been Ray Phoenix. That's a whole thing. I think it should have been someone else. I don't know why Ray Phoenix is being treated the way he's being treated.
Why is he on SmackDown with the thumb up his ass when he could definitely be used on Raw, where Penta just seemingly just will take any tag team partner he can get his hands on?
Not even just tag team partner, every luchador. Luchador besides Phoenix. I don't know.
So maybe we're gonna eventually, maybe that's where we're building to eventually where, Penta puts the right shape in the right box and eventually goes like, oh wait, my brother. Boom!
Right.
Yeah, that's the formula we need. But yeah, man. But Trick Williams looked really good in that match. I think they went like 10 or so minutes, and he also had a face to face with Randy Orton. Trick to me is money. They're gonna be printing money with Trick Williams' face on it very soon. He's a massive star. The presentation is there. SmackDown price of brick going up because
I know,
beefy roster.
See, here's the thing though. Is it happens every time. Whenever a new thing happens, I'm not trying to be a glass half empty about this, but they did go to 3 hours. And, whenever we get like the Raw premiere on Netflix a year ago or SmackDown moved to 2 hours or whatever, the first month is always great because it's something new. I want to see where we're at after 1 or 2 months with SmackDown being 3 hours, and I want to see if we're still here. If we're still here, great. That's what I want.
If we're still getting 18-minute Carmelo Hayes and Shinsuke Nakamura Open U.S. Challenge matches, keep them coming. We're good.
100%.
We're going to be okay.
Which I guess, speaking of that, we can kind of lump in the rest of SmackDown here. Like I said, Trick and Jordynne look great. I'm excited. Trick and Jordynne looked great, not Grace. Excited to see what they keep doing. Like you said, we had Melo versus Shinsuke, which, my God, people like to talk down on Shinsuke Nakamura. I think me a little bit trying in the scope of 2026. I get it. 2026.
Shinsuke Nakamura, but no, he can still go, man.
He should have won the title against AJ.
Oh.
Not the US title.
I'm like, no, Melo just won it.
No, the years ago, he should have won against AJ. That feud hasn't been great. Sure, main roster stuff, has he lived up to even black and gold NXT days? No, Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke is one of my favorite matches of all time. But my demon Shinsuke, the sniper with the Fujifilm X105. What do you know about that? Killer. And this match, I love the handshake at the end. Veteran Shinsuke, and you could tell once Shinsuke, obviously you probably know your opponent, but once that music hit, you could see Melo being like, oh fucking case, I'm facing Shinsuke Nakamura.
He wanted to put that over,
Okay.
And he did. And it is a big moment to have a banger of a SmackDown US title match against an absolute legend, Shinsuke Nakamura. That nothing but net, definitely creeping up to be one of my favorite finishers in the game. I love when Melo hits that. More U.S. Open challenges. Although I don't want it to become the Open Challenge title forever. But I do like that where the U.S. title is definitely developing its own identity. Because I'm someone that is a big believer in pro wrestling right now. There's way too many championships.
For sure.
But when you develop certain identities for titles, I think that's good. And the U.S. title being the U.S. title Open Challenge, I think Melo deserves a lot of praise for keeping that going. So
I do think maybe Melo, whoever wins it off Melo. Trick should then end the U.S. Open Challenge.
Sure,
I do love that we had it. Obviously, Cena started it years ago. Sammy took it from Cena. Ilya took it from Sammy. Melo took it from Ilya. And I agree with you. I don't want to, as we are, maybe I'm looking a gift horse in the mouth here. I don't want to get to a point where it's we're running out of compelling match, running out of guys, or you're just doing it for the sake of doing it, and the spirit gets lost. The spirit is still very much there, and even refreshed with a Melo, which again, I didn't give enough Melo enough credit in this match. This guy, finally, he's given some spotlight, and it just goes to show you what you can do when you're just allowed to have a great 15-minute match or whatever it is,
and I think too, a heel ending that Melo's run and then ending the challenge is great heat for that.
Yep.
I think too at Saturday's main event, I might have been mistaken, but I think it's going to be Melo defending against Miz versus Dragunov versus a mystery opponent.
I have no clue.
That might be something, although I might have read that wrong.
Because isn't the Miz in the tournament for the?
I think he is. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I'm wrong.
Let's see what the card's looking like. events. This is Saturday night's main event. Do you have a guess on what number the Saturday night's main event is?
27.
It is. What's that going to be? January 24th? Oh, fuck. XL. It's 43. 43. So the only things confirmed is we had the Fatal 4-Way. And then, I don't know. I haven't heard. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe I just read something wrong, but
no idea.
Yeah. But
it'd be cool if they do an open challenge sort of thing on the show. That'd be sick.
Absolutely.
All right. And then speaking of SmackDown matches, I guess, we got Giulia defeating Alexa Bliss. You know, I as the token Giulia defender here, you know, I even gave criticism last week of like, you know, I'm glad that Giulia has the US title, but I don't like how it happened at the expense of Chelsea Green. The Alexa Bliss match wasn't awesome. It wasn't as bad. People are saying it's bad. It was a fun match. There was some good stuff about it. It's just Giulia. I don't know, Giulia's just not connecting with the audience. I do think it is partly because, you know, we haven't seen, I don't know, maybe it's more just like, I don't know if you want to call it excuses or whatever, but I think there needs, I don't know, what am I trying to say? I feel like Giulia's still not giving, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to sit here and make excuses.
Yeah.
I guess point being is I think there's still opportunity for Giulia. There's a style that Giulia wrestles that I don't think, one, as great as she is, I think she's a veteran in the sport at this point. I just don't think Alexa, you're going to get that out of her. And I do think there is a chemistry mismatch there. Again, this very much sounds like excuses.
I mean, I can add some more excuses. I mean, like you said, Giulia does wrestle a certain style. And I brought this up some weeks ago, but I think where she might be in trouble is there's been a few house shows, I guess, but like I feel like she doesn't have the opportunity to really wrestle her style as much as she needs to. And I think again, like you have an opponent against Alexa Bliss, and I was kind of watching this match like actively trying not to be a hater. And kind of give it a chance. And I thought it was okay. And I think her beating Alexa Bliss, a former 5-time world champion, is a big deal. But yeah, like the match itself was a bit bland. But I think, yeah, too, it probably wouldn't have been bland or if the chemistry was there between her and Alexa. And of course, this match and this kind of segment match kind of was more so tailored to the Nia Jax / Legend interference at the end.
Right. That's the other point too. You know, is like
other stars are involved.
When you get a Giulia win, I think that's part. I'm glad you remind me of that because like. A clean Giulia win would at least like been a step in the right direction and helped the audience be like, okay, like she is oh cool, she got this win. But you needed a Lash Legend interference to get the DQ or whatever it was, and then, you know, Giulia ends up winning with that. I guess point being is like it does sound like excuses of, you know, because she is on TV, and I do, you know, recognize I just said like Melo is getting on TV and putting on these banger matches, but I do think like yes, they are putting Giulia in matches and she's on TV, but they're still almost like sabotaging her by making these matches either short or ending in a DQ, or, you know, maybe against opponents that are maybe more tailored to her. Which again, there goes the thing of like, well, every opponent should be tailored to you because you're a professional wrestler. I don't know. Point being, the sentiment here is, I'm still holding out hope for Giulia. I think WWE is too, especially putting the title back on her. And I think we're taking steps in the right direction. But as we take a step in the right direction, it's like we're taking 2 steps back with the DQ.
And she's also facing an uphill battle too. Word to Mark Mero and Karrion Kross: when your valet is smoking hot and kind of way more interesting than you, it's an uphill battle.
I don't think that's anything to do with it.
As Kiana James to me is kind of more compelling than Giulia.
That's shocking. That's crazy.
That's a problem. But I'm saying that's a problem with a valet that is, you know, very attractive.
I'm saying I disagree. She is not more interesting than Giulia.
To me, on WTV so far, yes.
I mean, that's just a hotness factor.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I think that's an issue. I'm saying like maybe Kiana James should not be with Giulia. You know,
I don't disagree with that. I just disagree. I just think your sentiment's pretty off. Like I just think. To be honest with you, I think they're both being presented as very boring.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think Kiana James, overshadows. I don't think that's the problem at all. That like, you know, I don't think people are seeing these two and being like, that Kiana James is overshadowing Giulia. You know what I mean?
But even word to what I reference, you know, Karrion Kross, where it's like me personally, I'm kind of flip flop on him, but more so, you know, my thing is like, I noticed the fans really liked him, but like, when you have a valet that just kind of pops on screen more than the other person, it's an uphill battle no matter what, in my opinion.
To be honest with you, I don't even see, and this is me saying like Scarlett's not hot or whatever.
Yeah.
I even disagree with Carrion. I don't know.
Well, to me, Carrion's the most interesting about him is his entrance, and
Sure.
which is mostly tailored to Scarlett. And then the Mark Merrow thing. I mean, Sable was the biggest star in the '90s. No one gave a rat's ass about Mark Merrow because of Sable. So that's kind of the comparison. And I'm thinking of, and maybe I'm grasping at straws and being unfair, but
I don't disagree, at least on the basis of that. Kiana and Giulia aren't a good match together. I think, and
it's more so to kind of cover up Giulia not being the best at promos yet. Possibly too. I mean, that's probably why they're.
I mean, I don't know if it's best at promos. I think it's more of like a language barrier thing potentially.
Yeah.
But again, I think I don't know. But again, I see the sentiment there of matching her with a Kiana, because then you can have like a mouthpiece and whatever. I just think the two of them, I don't think match each other. I think Kiana isn't even like, in terms of being a valet or whatever. Like, I don't think she's interesting, or like, it's not like she's like. It's not like we're coming away from this being like, that Giulia match sucked, but that Kiana promo was fire. You know what I mean?
On the discussion with Kiana too, I thought she was trying to recruit. I remember her like approaching.
Yeah, she was kind of doing like a
Jade
thing,
Cargill.
right?
I mean, if you kind of create a faction of like Kiana James, leading kind of like, because her gimmick's kind of like a lawyer-esque type
guess,
thing,
right? She dresses like a lawyer, kind of.
If you create like a cabinet of world-class champion athletes, if you put maybe pair like a faction of like Kiana James, and you add her and Giulia to be like Jade's kind of like backup, I think that could be. I'm not mad.
Yeah, you're right, because there was a little bit of like the recruiting, and it makes Kiana, which again is kind of why I'm also pushing like, who also gives a shit about Kiana, is like, she's not doing anything. She ended up recruiting people for Giulia or for this faction. Then it's like, then I think there's basis to say like, oh, like the Giulia stuff's boring, but like is Kiana the new Paul Heyman? You know what I mean? But I just think they're both kind of just like treading water, unfortunately.
For sure.
I don't know. Also, here's the thing: if they split Kiana up from Giulia, what's there for Kiana? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't really know what's,
And that's the thing too with the, U.S. Women's Championship and the discussion I kind of brought up earlier, too many titles. I think that's another thing of like, when they introduce these women's mid-card titles, they introduce them at the same time. And to me, the women's IC title has taken up a way more level of importance. And I think it's almost kind of a hindrance to Giulia, this U.S. Title. And it's like, she's now won it for the second time. And it's like, when you win it for the second time, and it's kind of just like, kind of seems like it's just kind of thrown together, and
especially the way she won it off of Chelsea Green, which is like, I'm again, my glass half full at Giulia, still holding out hope. So being optimistic, because hopefully in the next couple of weeks, maybe we can get some sort of like, I don't know, I think I'd be really curious if we come away from a SmackDown and she just has a banger with someone. Then I'm curious what happens. And I honestly, I think there's a world, I think it's a very close world, where nothing changes, because now we're talking about the WWE audience, which can sometimes be an audience that may not care as much about just like a, strictly in rings, stardom level sort of graps match, where like, again, I do understand where's the character, where's the story, and which I fully agree with that. But I'd be curious if even like, if Giulia was like, if this Giulia and Alexa match like killer, would the crowd, with the WWE audience still even change? You know what I mean? Which I would hope, which granted, we are seeing that with like a Melo maybe, or Melo's putting on these killer matches, benefit the US Open Challenge, where he's getting over because he's killing it with like, a Shinsuke match or a Giulia or whatever. I don't know. Giulia's, it's an interesting case, Giulia. I think it really is. I think my biggest thing to get out, we'll get off this Giulia train in a second. I think Giulia should have stayed in NXT. I think I say this all the time. I think Giulia should have maybe stayed in NXT. Kind of goes to maybe your like IC thing with Stephanie, where I think, and similar to maybe a Javon Evans, where I think there's conversations for these guys, or these guys, gals, whatever, to stay in NXT, win the NXT title, run NXT for like a year, and then do the call up and whatever. I think, and again, this is hindsight 2020. Giulia, I think, would have been someone that would have really benefited from the momentum that the NXT crowd might have given her, being bought into her, more of a graps-focused sort of crowd. Win the NXT title, and the main roster crowd hears all these things about Giulia over the next year, and then you debut her while Stephanie kind of has been growing as she has. I don't know. Like I said, maybe that conversation doesn't even matter because it's all hypothetical, but I think that would have been my solution to
I'll say this, another hypothetical. If she doesn't end up in the final four of the Rumble, she's done. She's not gonna. They're not gonna push her. I think they always love to put the final four as people that they really love, and almost ultimately end up in the other world title picture at Mania. But I would really want to see Giulia's performance in the Rumble and see how much they give her. Maybe she can be the Iron Woman. What spot in the Rumble does Giulia get?
I think
it's a bit of a shame where it's like she has no chance to win. But if she gets a Final Four spot, if she gets a big time showing where she dominates, maybe a lot of eliminations or maybe an hour in the ring, that could be the spot where she can shine and start changing some minds.
I think I like that. I think I'm with you. I think as we're watching the Rumble, January 31st on stream, Stache Club Wrestling channel, I think that's going to be something to really look at. It's like, okay, how does Giulia perform here?
Giulia's been eliminated in 3 seconds.
That's the thing. If that happens, I might just have to wash my hands of, you know what, you got it. You know what I mean?
End the stream.
You got it. Real quick before I don't give a shit about MFTs versus Wyatt 6.
No, I will say this. I was screaming on the top of my lungs. Solo smashed the lantern.
He's been carrying it around.
He's been carrying it around everywhere. I'm like, when are you going to smash it? I think he smashes it this week on SmackDown, hopefully.
Give me your early, and this is, I don't want to take up too much time if you don't have them, but give me your early final four of each Rumble. This isn't predictions yet. We'll obviously kind of, work on our predictions.
Yes.
But final four of each Rumble, men and women, and then I want to get to our wrestler match of the week, and then we'll head over to Patreon.
They love to do the kind of like not passing the guard, but like the different eras face off towards the end. So I think I'm gonna go final four of the Rumble: Cody, Roman, Oba, Bron.
That's a real good final four. Okay, I'll give you for the men's. I mean, Cody, Roman, right?
Yeah.
Give me Cody, Roman. I'm going to say Oba gets close. I'm going to say Oba no final four.
That could be Jacob.
Jacob too. Fuck.
There's so many big stars.
I'm going to say
right
Bron.
now. Yep.
And then you know who I'm going to... but also fuck Sammy. You know who I want to throw in there too?
What's that?
Who's like they're not going to win, but like, we talked about them earlier. They're a big star or, a lot of potential. Javon Evans in the final four would be a really fun, like, oh my God, could he... Oh my God. Like, the young, whatever, like that'd be a fun spot. Okay.
Dragunov, Melo. There's so many people that you want in that spot to get like the hope spot. Like,
Give me,
wait, man.
You know what? I'm going to take Cody out.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Give me Sammy Roman. Because there's a story you can tell right there. Give me Sammy Roman, Javon, Breaker.
Okay.
Yeah. Javon's like the fun one, like maybe the least realistic one. Okay. All right, women. Who do you think women?
I'm going to go Io, Rhea.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
Io, Rhea, Bianca.
Yup. You're hoping for
Roxanne.
Giulia. Ooh. There's so many to pick from. Okay. I'm going to go. God, yeah, Rhea. I have no idea. At least like the men's match is like so-and-so could win. So I have no, other than Bianca. Bianca I think is like the fan favorite. All right, give me Bianca.
Which we don't know anything about.
Right, exactly. Give me Bianca. Sol Ruka. Maybe swap out Sol for Jordynne Grace.
Wow.
I like the idea of like a new NXT star.
Absolutely.
In there.
That's a great spot for her.
All right. Who did I say? Bianca, Jordynne Grace. Rhea and Io is such a good pick too.
Lash, isn't it crazy?
Even like Charlotte is always going to be in there. Lash too. Nia is always one they always like have as a dominant force.
A lot of people want Liv to win.
Oh, Liv's a favorite. Roxanne's such a good pick too. All right, then I think I'll give you Liv and then Rhea. Oh, what if Rhea eliminates Io? Oh, I'll cry. That might be the move. That might be the move.
I can't wait for the Rumble. And then Roxanne eliminating Liv. Like, there's so much dynamic. And I love
the Rumble's going to rock.
I love the cliche spot of like a Rumble elimination setting up a Mania match. Like, I can't wait, dude. It's my favorite pay-per-view of the year.
Or you just do Women's US title. You just go Final Four. Giulia, Kiana James, Chelsea Green,
yes,
Michin,
Sable,
Mark Mero, Sable.
What's the other valet?
Scarlett.
Scarlett, yes, get Scarlett in there too. I was thinking on the way over here. It's like I'm kind of with the whole dynamic of like Cody losing the title. and what that could mean. With, again, I think Cody and Jacob Fatu are going to have something to feud about for a bit, and that I kind of alluded to that could lead into another Samoan family member of Jacob's, Roman, stepping up to Cody and maybe setting up that Mania match. But then you kind of get the idea of like, we're so separated from the evil Roman Reigns led bloodline, where it's, and then you get moments like is it kind of when Cody might need some help in regards to Jacob, Roman, possibly the Usos or the MFTs or whoever kind of sides with Roman and Jacob and all that stuff, like Sami Zayn's interaction with Roman Reigns, and then like whose side is he on, and like how kind of everyone's kind of how the other wrestlers view Cody and compared to Roman. I think there's so much legs there for dynamic storytelling. And even like on Raw, I was kind of laughing at the prospect of main event Jey Uso, the current tag champion, face to face with Otis. And how kind of how the mighty have fallen there, and his placement in the WrestleMania card and all that stuff too. So just
even all that conversation within the Rumble.
Speaking of the dynamics of like where we're at now with like all these superstars compared to just a few years ago, it's like when I really said like I'm so excited right now to be on the road to WrestleMania, and I'm calling it Rainbow Road just because I have the unpredictability and this blue shells, red shells, everything going down. I just very, very much can't wait for the Rumble and the dynamics of like how things have changed and stuff. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing here.
I know. I get, and I back up your excitement of it. Like I said, I've been excited for the Rumble stream for weeks. I think the Rumble stream is gonna be so much fun. God, what if the Rumble? What if that stream ends and we're like, those Rumbles suck. It's like that's gonna be
it's gonna happen.
Then again, we'll be like 6 beers in or whatever, and we'll be like, "This Rumble rocked." I'm excited. Yeah, we got nailed down what the stream is looking like in terms of like the game and like whatever.
Maybe a punishment. I don't know. Something crazy. But yeah, definitely the game though. And then like two, I was just thinking like, I often like to compare eras, and I've called Cody Rhodes like, kind of the Steve Austin of the era, top babyface. Roman Reigns kind of the Rock, the big star. And you get Drew McIntyre winning this WWE championship, and he kind of to me is definitely the modern day Triple H in the era of like, he is a guy that isn't like the guy, but you kind of look at the body of work and in his stance in the company, and like I am a big Cody QB1 fan, and I've kind of put it out there. Like, I'm upset about Drew winning. It is a good thing that Drew won, and it's a great time to be a wrestling fan right now.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty stoked about the decision. I said it somewhere else, but I was like, this is the first time in a very, very long time we have a WWE champion who's not like this person who's in the stratosphere, being a Roman who had it for 3 years, a Cody who is the QB1 and the guy, and also John Cena had it. When's the last time? Might have been Drew or whatever. I don't know. I'm not bad. I'm not good at that, but it's been a long fucking time since we've had anyone but a Cena, Roman, Cody, or even more specifically just a Roman Cody, right? So now finally someone else is touching the WWE Championship. That's been my critique for a long time, is that as cool as the prestige is of the WWE Championship, it's almost harming itself because no one else can touch it. You know what I mean? Like it seems like it's right here compared to like even like the world heavyweight or whatever. Like CM Punk is not at the same level as a Cody Rhodes, or when Seth Rollins had it, he's not at the same level as a Roman Reigns or whatever. So now Drew winning it brings the title back down to earth in a good way. It sounds like I'm saying he's decreasing it. He's bringing it back down to earth so we can have like new stars and these other main eventers like a Drew or a Jacob Fatu hopefully touch this title, and it's not just reserved for 2 people, which I really, again, make like you said, makes it exciting, and stuff now stuff isn't predictable,
Absolutely.
Okay, I think you said one of these earlier. Wrestler match of the year of week. What was your match of the week? You said it was the
match of the week was the 3 Stages of Hell match on SmackDown. I mean, I kind of came into it not with low expectations, but again, kind of I think you nail on the head by calling it the 3 Stages of Heck match in terms of like the stipulations per stage. But they smashed it out of the park. It was so much fun, so compelling, and again, shocking winner, which like you can never complain about. So
I'm going match of the week. I'm going Carmelo Hayes and Shinsuke Nakamura. I had fun. I had a lot of fun. I love the handshake at the end. All right, wrestler of the week. I'll kick it off. I got wrestler of the week is Javon Evans, someone who this year expect a lot of Javon Evans taking up that Wrestler of the Week spot, I predict. The match with Bravo was really good. I think it was a fantastic debut. And just seeing how instantly he connects with the fans. Him coming down, doing the high fives. He won the match and he was hugging some like dad and daughter and like whatever. This guy is a star. Granted, he will, as he will never hit the pinnacle and he will never win a world championship. I agree. I'm just kidding.
He's not a franchise player.
He's not a franchise player. He'll always be good. All right, who's your Wrestler of the Week?
My Wrestler of the Week, he did come up short in the Raw main event, but I'm going AJ Styles, the phenomenal one.
Good one.
Guy, I mean, he was really putting on a classic last night. I love the storytelling with the leg, and even like the he did like a jumping top rope kind of somersault onto Gunther's legs. I thought that was one of my favorite spots. Like, he just basically sat on his legs. It was crazy, trying to set up the calf crush submission. And then also too, he will be on TNA, the debut episode, AMC, I think this Thursday or maybe next Thursday. I could be wrong. Maybe we should look that up. But him being...
I think it's this Thursday, and there's something then like they're doing an event Saturday or something.
Oh, really?
Shit. Or I might have the dates wrong as well. Wow. But like, yeah.
Good for TNA. But I mean, what a moment that will be. There, a lot of speculation. Will he have a match? I don't think so, but damn well he's retiring at the end of the year or this year at some point. Have a match at TNA, please.
I do hope this leads to like him confronting the champ and being like, I think he should get a run.
Hell yeah.
Also, I'm glad you brought that up because big shout out, real friend of the pod, shout out BDE for signing with TNA. Fucking so sick, dude. Congratulations, super proud of you. So sick, unreal. Dreams come true, huh?
Congrats to BDE, and I don't mean to step on BDE, but also congrats to Hometown Man resigned to TNA too. I saw this morning.
Really?
He did, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's big time for TNA.
Let's fucking go, Hometown Man. All right, I think that's the end of the show. We will head over to the Patreon. We have a bunch of your questions to answer. We're chit-chatting about all kinds of things. Folks, head over to patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling to hear all of that. And we appreciate you being here. We are rolling in the new year. I'll tell you that. Check out everything else on the channel. Follow us on everything. Our YouTube channels and personal socials and stuff are in the description. With that said, Jimmy, I'll see you over in the Patreon. I'll see everyone over there next week, wherever you want to go. Boom. Peace.
Stay curious. Tony Storm versus Marina Shafir.
Yeah.
It was good.
Nah, it was fun. No, it wasn't. Who do you guys got as Drew's first opponent for the title? You think it'll be as simple as Randy or someone else?
I owe Megan Bayne a tattoo. I'm still working on that.
You better turn the TV off when Jimmy's on the TV. Whoa, you better start listening to the audio version of this.
I'm getting bashful.